International speech contests are a really important part of our Toastmasters experience because they give the opportunity for personal development for both speakers and the audience members. Before we get started tonight, I'd like to have us recognize some of the VIPs or dignitaries. Please just turn on your video if you want to say hi. I'm going to read your names. First, we have what we affectionately refer to as the trio, and that would be our current district director, George Marshall. Our current program quality director, Carolyn Douglas. Our club growth director is Ed Cullen. Now, District 57 stretches from Fremont at the south end all the way to the Oregon border. And we have 9 division directors that help the trio carry out the duties that help all of the clubs do well. Division A director, Teresa Smith. Division B, Joanne Bradley. Division C, Elliot Rogers. Division D, Tong Yin. Division F, director is Winnie Ma. Division G, Mark Salcido. Division H, Lisa Ash. And Division I, Sherry Sue. Now, forming a foundational core for our district are past district directors. Past international director, Greg Scott, is with us. Many of these directors come back and help in all kinds of ways in the district, and we surely appreciate it. Randy Ellington, past district director, Steve Tadai. We have past director, Diane Plus. Kevin Markle. And then Beth Bolthofer was our director last year. And I'd also like to announce that we have 2 candidates running for the club growth director. That will be voted on at the business meeting tomorrow. And that would be William Holsey and Sally Philbin. And last but not least, let me introduce or wave, if you would, for us, Mark Salcido, who is also our contest chair tonight. Logistics for today's contest is very important. And the reason is this contest is recorded. It's actually used for a second contest for the regional quarterfinals. So there are 123 districts, and they go into the winner of this contest will go to the quarterfinals. So it's really important that we make sure our video and our audio are turned off at all times. You may want to root your contestant on and get a little crazy, but please, this is not the time to do it. We do want to hear those after party stories, those celebrations, but don't do it during this contest if you could. So if you turn on your audio or video, you'll be asked to turn it off. And if the tech host has to turn it off, you'll have to ask the test host later on to be turned back on. But so just do us all a favor and turn your audio and video off. Also, please refrain from using the chat. The chat is an important tool for the contest staff to talk with each other. And so we don't want to fill up. Sometimes chat can get pretty heavy. So if you could just refrain from using the chat, we'd surely appreciate it. If you do have a technical situation, please put that in chat. Winglock and David Dye are our tech hosts tonight, and they'll be glad to get you squared away. If you drop out, you may come back in. You may be placed in a waiting room. Please be patient. So it is also a Toastmasters rule that all videos be turned off and audio during the contest. So please honor that. Let me see. David, does everybody have their audio and visual turned off?
Hey, Kate. I think so, but it seems that the timer having some issue here. So Mercy not able to use the camera, and Catherine not able to use the camera. So just double check with Mercy one time. Otherwise, we can ask Larry to be the timer to show the time card. So
Hey,
Mercy,
David, could Mercy do it if she just uses the Zoom link instead?
no, the same thing, and not because of that one. So I think the camera is having some issue. So Mercy, I think you joined the Zoom meeting directly, right? So Mercy,
She was in the
yeah,
yeah.
briefing.
She went through Hoga, I think.
Right. So I think at this time we can ask Larry to be the timer to show the time card. Larry. Yeah. And the Mercy and the Catherine, you guys can just time the speech and then, right, take the. How about that, Kate?
Let me see. I'm not seeing the timer.
He should
Yeah.
raise his hand, David. Larry, if you could raise your hand, the reaction hand.
In the reaction buttons down below, there's a raised hand.
Kate, he's right. He's side by side with you.
Yeah, he's there. He's
Yeah,
there.
let me go with gallery mode and see what happens there. Yeah, I see it.
That's not raising the hand, though. That's the applause or something. So there's a straight hand upward.
Yeah,
you
David.
go. Yeah, there we go.
Another yes. Okay, so there's the hand, and also David has got it.
Yeah.
The timer always in the upper left. All right, that looks like it will work. With that said, it's my pleasure to introduce our contest Toastmaster for today. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Linda Patten. Never says no to a leadership position. An excellent orator as well. Please help me welcome Linda.
Thank you, Kate, so very, very much. I'll now begin with an overview of the International Speech Contest procedures. In this contest, we will hear an original speech from each contestant. There will be 1 minute of silence after each contestant for the judges to mark their ballots. I will ask each contestant, can you hear me, and see the timer. Once they respond, yes, I could hear you and I see the timer, I will then introduce them. To eliminate any perception of bias or prejudice, I will introduce each speaker contestant in the same way. Contestant number, their name, the title of their speech, and their name. The speaking order has been chosen randomly, and I'll announce the order now. Number 1 is Donica Hopkins. Number 2, Patty Wong. Number 3, Ron Fitch. Number 4, Ray Engan. Number 5, Michelle Peticolas. Number 6, Jackie Tweedie. Number 7, Alexey Morov. Number 8, Justin Pareas. And number 9, Bruce Mason. After the final contestant, I will ask for silence until the judges have submitted their ballots. Our chief judge, Hans Thoma, will review some of the contest rules. Hans?
Good evening, everyone.
Hans, you're on mute.
Yeah, I'm here. I don't have any rules to go over. I think you're good to go.
Okay.
Mercy is back online for a timer.
Yeah, Mercy, I see Mercy camera is working now, so I'm jumping for a second. So Mercy, are you able to share the time card? If yes, then you can be the timer. Mercy, just show the green and yellow and
She's showing the timer.
click. Okay, good. Okay, great. So Mercy is going to be the head timer, and thank you, Larry, very much.
I didn't see any of those cards.
We need her to raise her hand.
Go. Thank you, Mr. Chief Judge. It's now time to begin the International Speech Contest. Are you all excited? I certainly am. Contestant number 1, please turn on your video and your microphone. Can you hear me and can you see the timer?
Yes, I can hear you and I can see the timer.
Let me introduce you. It's Donica Hopkins. Do it now. Do it now, Donica Hopkins.
Life should be great. I should be at the top of my game. I'm 34 years old, living in the beautiful Northern California wine country. I'm married. I've got a steady job with a medical device manufacturing. I have friends and family nearby. Yes, life should be great. I should be at the top of my game, but I'm not. I've been passed over 3 times for promotions at work. My dreams of being a mother are shattered. My husband and I just lost our first pregnancy. But what was worse was the look of relief I saw in his eyes when we learned the news. It was just there for a second, but my heart wrenched. I wanted to be a mother and have a family more than anything. My response, I went to Victoria's Secret and bought everything they had. Unfortunately, my husband's response, abstinence. For him, it was a simple solution. No intimacy, no children. We were in the impasse, and I believed that it was all my fault. I became convinced that I was unattractive, unlovable, unworthy. I weigh what I weigh now, but I proceeded to lose 25 pounds because I thought I must be too fat. It's easy to do when you throw up everything you eat. I also became a people-pleasing doormat, agreeing with everyone, laughing at their jokes, saying yes to everything. But I never felt that my opinions were valid. I was so lost, so alone, so isolated. I didn't know what to do. One day over lunch with my best friend, Monica, she saw my distress and my dismay. She suddenly exclaimed, "Donica, it doesn't have to be like this. You are loved. You need to change." I looked at her and said, "I don't know how. I don't know where to start." Monica got a big smile on her face and said, "Girl, it doesn't matter what you do. What matters is you do it now. Stand up." I looked at her. "What? You heard me. Stand up. Do it now." I stood up. "Good. Now sit down. Do it now." I sat down. Then she explained, "When you do it now, you are in control. When you sit and think about it, all your negative energy is in control." A light went on inside me. I started thinking about all the things that I had used to love to do that I had stopped. There were so many: fitness, learning, having fun with friends. I realized that if I needed to change, I needed to do it now. I remember seeing a flyer for a trail running group. On my way home, I decided to do it now, and I signed up. Our first run was on a trail so steep, I was sure I was going to fall and break my neck. I was scared to death. Luckily, my running coach, Kenny, showed me how to lower my center of gravity, and do it now. For the next 12 weeks, I slipped and tripped and fell all over those trails. But each time I got up over and over and over again, slowly transforming from a hesitant, nervous newbie to a confident, sure-footed mountain goat. Success. Remembering Monica's words, I wanted a promotion at work. Because I worked in the medical device industry, I knew any science would be applicable. I opened my laptop and found an anatomy class, complete with my own personal cadaver. It was so great. I signed up immediately because I decided to do it now. After 18 weeks, countless hours in the library and the dissection lab, I passed my class. 6 months later, I got my promotion. While I had made friends in both my running group and my anatomy class, I really wanted to address the fear that I had that I wasn't good enough. My friend Kathy invited me to come to her community book club. I was amazed and astonished by how confident and comfortable everyone was sharing their opinions and viewpoints. Kathy explained it was because everyone was so encouraging and supportive of each other. Then she asked if I'd like to join. And of course I said, yes, I'll do it now. 10 weeks later, I was the one sharing my opinions and viewpoints comfortably and confidently. By this time, I was bursting with physical, mental, and social confidence, thanks to cliffs, cadavers, and community clubs. Because I had decided to do it now, I had a healthier self-image, greater self-confidence, and even found a new relationship with someone who wanted children. Fellow Toastmasters, do you know someone who struggles with fear, who holds himself back, who doubts himself? Remind them of Monica's words of wisdom, but don't sit around and think about it. Do it now. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, contestant number 1. Please turn off your video and mute your microphone. Timer, please allow 1 minute of silence. Thank you, timer. Contestant number 2, please turn on your video and your microphone. Can you hear me and see the timer?
Yes.
Contestant number 2, Patty Wong. The list, Patty Wong.
Before I go shopping for my grocery, I always like to have a list of things to buy. But when I'm done, I delete it. I don't keep them. But there is a list that I have started building 20 years ago, and I still have it. Yes, you heard me right. I started 20 years ago. You must wonder, what is your list about? It all started with my son, Alton. My son, Alton, is an autistic kid. And let's see who is on my list. The first one is Mrs. On. Mrs. On was the preschool teacher. I didn't really know her, let me tell you this. But how did I meet her? Ring! Hi, this is Patty. Hi, this is Mrs. On. Patty, I need you to go to the school as soon as possible, better this afternoon. Okay, Mrs. On. My son just started preschool 2 weeks ago. It seems very urgent. I better go. Hi, Mrs. On. Hi, Patty. I'm glad you're here. You know, I am going to make it short. I need you to look at this list. Sure, Mrs. On. Monday, 10 a.m. at the playground, throwing sand in the air. 11 o'clock, throw sand in the air. Tuesday, 9 a.m. throw sand in the air. Keep on throwing sand in the air until 11 o'clock. Not very strange. My son Alton said that. Patty, you know that for a 2-year-old kid, it's not normal. 2-year-old kid likes to play with other kids. You have to take Alton to see his pediatrician as soon as possible. Take this stack of notes. I sure enough made an appointment right away. What happened? Mrs. On was absolutely right. Alton was diagnosed with autism. We went through a whole year of whatever evaluation you could think of. But because of Mrs. On's notes and her observations, we were able to get Alton the correct help he could have got. Let me look. That was the first one on my list. There's a lot of people on my list, but the most recent one is Sam. Who is Sam? Sam is the owner of President Table Tennis. My son Alton, he likes to play ping pong. But for autistic kids, it's pretty typical. They are not really social. They don't even know how to say hi. So even though he likes to play, he will just sit there waiting for people, watching people, how to do ping pong back and forth. And he just sits and watch. But for me and you, we'll be like, hey, do you want to play with me? You know what Sam did? He called me. Hey, Patty, I know that Alton did not have anyone to play with. I asked some players and I got their phone number. You go to call them. You make arrangement with them. So Alice, so Alton can play with them. And I did. And now my son Alton, he's a very good ping pong player. He has friends. He is even the admin to add new players in his chat group so that others can meet someone ahead of time and plan ahead of time so they can play. You know, Mrs. On and Sam, they really did not have to go out of their way to help Alton, but they did. Why? Because of their kindness. They want to help. For us, I like to take this moment. All of you, close your eyes. Ready? At this time, I want you to think who in your life has touched you. They go out of their way to help you. You have that? Now, also think about a person that you have gone out of your way to help. Got that? Great. Now, I ask you to slowly open your eyes. At this time, you have two lists. One, you're the lucky one. Someone has helped you. The second list, you are even luckier because you are the one to help others. Now, it's all on you. That is the list. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Contestant number 2, please turn off your video and mute your microphone. Timer, please allow a 1 minute for silence. Thank you. Contestant number 3, please turn on your video. Can you hear me and see the timer?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. Contestant number 3, Ron Fitch. Bully me once, bully me twice. Bully me once, bully me twice, Ron Fitch.
I dedicate this speech to my mother who helped me survive it all. Happy birthday, Mom. Have you ever been bullied? You remember how it felt? Maybe you haven't been bullied, but you know someone that has. Or maybe you've been the bully. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, I want to discuss an uncomfortable topic this evening. It's the world of bullying, and encourage you to find your voice in speaking out against it. In high school, I was bullied all 4 years. My first bully used to wait at the gate to leave the high school, surrounded by his minions, and every day he threatened to kick my ass. This went on for weeks until one day I outsmarted my bully. I took the long way around. Ha ha. He never saw me again. Problem is, now I encountered a bunch of new bullies, bigger, badder, and one of them was a girl. Girls can bully just as viciously as guys can. Remember Lucy Van Pelt? She's always threatening to pound her brother Linus. She calls Charlie Brown a blockhead. We learn from bullies on how to bully back in an attempt to survive. I tried bullying back once. Eggs in the mailbox and firecrackers are hardly a response. And then one day, a friend of mine came to me and said, I can fix your problem for you. Seemed like a good idea at the time until one day I got a visit at school from a police detective. You see, the boom was a little bit bigger than he had intended. Somehow I survived that and made it to June. The bullying that started quick was over in June. Bully me once, bully me twice. After college, I got into the world of software development. Do you know that the biggest bullies are in the IT world? Read your Dilbert cartoons to find out about that. My first boss was a bully. He fired me as quickly as he hired me because I wouldn't stand for his bullying. A few weeks later, I ended up in job number 2 with a real team of developers, man. We were going places. Every Friday, at the end of our staff meeting, we would chant, we only have winners on our team. We only have winners on our team. Boy, that felt great. And then the president would call me into his office and, Ron, you're a screw up in the industry. Nobody will hire you. Except he didn't use the word screw up. You're lucky to be working for me. And then to show what a nice guy he was, he let me go home early. Well, if you slug me in the gut, I'm not worth anything for the rest of the day. This went on for weeks until one day, driving home early, hold it a minute. If I'm such a screw up, why am I working for him? Just an hour ago, we chanted, we don't have winners on our team. In high school, I survived bullying by hiding. In the software development world, I survived bullying by burying myself in design. Now, what are the traits of bullies? Do you know that bullies are actually cowards? That's why they have their minions around them. They use big words, they make idle threats, and most importantly, they want it to be kept hidden and private. They don't want anybody to know what they're doing. The KKK wear hoods because they don't want you to know who they are. So one of the ways to prevent bullying is to make sure that it can't be private. You know, it may be that cameras all over the internet that we're afraid of is going to help us put an end to bullying. For those of you that have been bullied, remember this. You can't change the fact that you were bullied, but you can change how you hold it. This evening, I'm recommending that you forgive your bullies. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Jesus said as they nailed him to the cross. When you forgive your bullies, you're not saying that it's okay what they did. You forgive your bullies to get them off of your shoulders and get on with your life. So, just because I work for you does not give you the right to bully me. Bully me once, bully me twice, but you're not going to bully me a third time, because this evening I declare my life, my world, to be a no bully zone. Now you're probably wondering what you can do to help stop bullying. It's real simple. If you're being bullied or you know somebody that has been bullied, tell somebody about it. Don't keep it hidden. Don't wait for somebody else. Don't sit back and hope it'll go away, because it won't. The time has come to end bullying now, and it all starts when you stand up. Come on, stand up and speak out. Do you have the courage to stand up and speak out? The future of bullying is in your hands. Mr. Toastmaster, Madam Toastmaster.
Contestant number 3, please, I'm sorry. Contestant number 2, please turn off your video and mute your microphone. And that is actually 3. And timer, allow for a minute of silence. Contestant number 4, please turn on your video and your microphone. Can you hear me? And can you see the timer?
I can hear you and I can see the timer.
Contestant number 4, Ron Engan, lies matter. Lies matter, Ray Engan.
This moment was Disney magical, but it was real. And had you been climbing our plum tree with hundreds of pink little beautiful budding flowers, you would have seen from a bird's eye view an adorable little boy. Me asking, why are there so many flowers in this tree this week when there weren't last week? Well, Ray, this tree is very smart. It knows when someone very special is about to have a birthday, and it only flowers then. It's almost my birthday. This tree knows you're special. I hugged that tree. That tree liked me. It really, really liked me. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, I watered it. I talked to it. I ate lunch in its comforting limbs. I grew up believing in that tree. And every year when it would flower right before my birthday, my belief grew. Never dawned on me? Mom lied. She consciously lied to make me feel special. That's the actions I saw growing up. Lies matter. Now, those weren't the words that I heard growing up. My mom also said, if you lie, every time you lie, it blackens a part of your soul. See, adults don't want kids to lie. Yet they lie to kids all the time. I heard a parent say, if you lie, Santa's not going to bring you any toys. But lies aren't bad. It's the intention behind the lie. That's what makes it bad. Good lies lift up. Bad lies are self-centered. Every day, there's a moment where the truth is optional. A moment like under that plum tree, because lies matter. Keeping Santa, the tooth fairy, and the Easter bunny alive in the minds of children, lies matter. Telling somebody they look great when they really don't, because if they think they look great, then they do look great. Lies definitely matter. Lifting someone up doesn't take physical strength. It just takes listening, observing, and good intentions. Now, at age 93, my mom is bedridden, doesn't eat, she has dementia, in hospice care. Does the truth help her? Mom, you're done. There's nothing we can do. No, lies matter. When I say to her, Mom, at 93, cholesterol doesn't count. Eat as many corn dogs as you want. She smiles, she beams. I started lying. She started having fun. When the doctor said, you have the brain of a 117-year-old, my mom smiled and said, it doesn't look a day over 108. She made me laugh in a moment that I wanted to cry. Lies matter. On Thanksgiving, one of our traditions is we would sing, and I get to pick the song. So I said, Mom, I'll start. Vanilla, ice, ice, baby, boom, shakalaka, laka, boom. She doesn't get it all right, but she gets to smile every single time. But my logical brother doesn't understand that lies matter. He walked in, my mom's like, the button, push the button. What, the light switch? No, the button, push the button. There's no button, Ma. Is it Monday? Mom, we've been over this. It's Thanksgiving. It's always on a Thursday. The truth was frustrating her. So I pushed the button. What do you see, Mom? Colors, clouds, dancing pandas. Of course. That's what you get on every Monday that is so special. They decide to move Thanksgiving to that Monday. My last time with her, she had an ear-to-ear grin. Her eyes sparkled, her arms out, full, hugging protocol. And then she said, I heard you died. Well, Mom, if I did, I'd be in heaven because the way you raised me. Oh, don't lie to me. You're never going to get there. Even bedridden with memory loss, she never forgets how to make people smile. I was born with my mom's eyes. I hope one day I'll have her vision. To every day see life as an opportunity like the one she saw with that plum tree. Last month, my mom graduated from hospice care. Well, maybe graduate is not the right word. She dropped out. She's getting better. I've never seen that happen before. I'll never know if it's the lies that helped build her up, but I do know she understands that lies matter. Today, she eats like crazy. I saw her gulp down a corn dog the other day, and she took the stick and waved it and said, where's my corn dog? And I'm like, you just had one, Mom. Where's my second corn dog? I understand the truth is important, but life is not a deposition. And sometimes it's not the truth that sets you free. It's your lies that matter. So in the moment of silence in between speakers, I'm hoping you'll reflect on someone that you once told a lie to lift them up and pick who's next. And if my mom were here, she'd say, call your mother. Madam Toastmaster.
Contestant 4, please turn off your video and mute your microphone. Timer, please allow 1 minute of silence. Thank you. Contestant number 5, please turn on your video and your microphone. Can you hear me and can you see the timer?
I can hear you. I can see the timer.
Contestant number 5, Michelle Peticolas, Mentorship for Life. Mentorship for Life, Michelle Peticolas.
When's the last time you changed your perspective of an important relationship? For me, it was the Toastmaster speech, Introduction to Mentorship. I never had a mentor. I had teachers, I had coaches, micromanagers, no mentor. I heard a little voice in my head, that inner voice I'd sometimes miss. My mother, the woman who left me feeling unwanted, unworthy, rejected. She was my mentor. I guess she was. She was prolific. She created something new every day. I learned drawing, painting, photography, filmmaking. An artist, she put art into everything she did. I started to see her less as Wicked Witch of the West and more as Glenda, Good Witch of the North. I heard that inner voice again. Time to change my perspective. Madam Toastmaster, friends, anyone who's had a mom, this is my journey of transforming and shifting the perspective of my mother. It begins with stories of her neglect. The neighbor knocking on our front door. Mrs. Peticolas, your daughter's out in the street eating gravel. Gravel? My father saving my life when I flew down the basement stairs in a baby stroller, catching me in his arms before I hit the concrete. Where was my mom? Interrupting my older sister when she was talking to my mother. Susie, why are you talking to this woman? I'm her mommy, sweetie. Didn't I know she was our mother? Then it dawned on me. These were her stories, told to me by her. Did she feel guilty? Rejected by me? A housewife from New Jersey breaking into the New York toy industry in the 1950s? Did she worry that in pursuing her passion, she was not a good mom? Perspective shift. She was courageous, a role model of empowerment, anytime, any age. She often said, I wanted to make $1 million. Your father said, I'd like 6 kids. Who did the good Lord listen to? It was quite a juggling act, managing 6 kids and running a business. She dropped a few balls. We children became resourceful and resilient. She never abandoned us. She welcomed us into her art projects. Stars in her fairy tale movies, elves in her toy making business. Her way of welcoming us in. Her biggest impact on me was when she was dying. I went home to help her finish up business. If you had been in her studio with us, you would have seen me pick up one of her designs. Do you need this anymore? Oh, I guess I'll never finish that project. I got what deadline really means. We don't need to deal with this right now. Instead of allowing her to express her feelings, I changed the subject. And that moment of intimacy with her I had craved all my life was lost forever. It woke me up. If she, my poster child for living your passion, had regrets, where did that leave me? I heard that inner voice. Time to shift your perspective. I did. I made 3 documentaries, award-winning, Secrets of Life and Death, to wake you up, everyone, to this life, to passion, like I had. I gave workshops and coached individuals to help them live their life passionately. I wanted to make a lot of money. I wanted to make more films. But in trying to get that right, I got it wrong. I lost connection to my passion, my creativity, my mom. I had been dismissing her as impractical because she never made that $1 million. When's the last time you judged somebody's value based on their income? My mom had impact. I saw a woman on TV sharing one of my mother's toys as her childhood favorite. My brother was selling her artifacts on eBay to loyal fans. At my 50th high school reunion, my friends raved about her influence on them. I heard that inner voice. Time to shift my perspective. I realized that in rejecting her, I was rejecting me. My new perspective, Mom, my mentor for life, which means more play, more creativity, more courage in my life. The real message of my mom, the toy designer. It's already working. I'm having more fun with my husband, involved in more creative projects, competing in the international speech competition. Do you have regrets about an important relationship? Feel blocked in your passion? What's your inner voice say? Is it time to say it with me? Change my perspective. Madam Toastmaster.
Contestant number 5, please turn off your video and mute your microphone. Timer, please allow 1 minute of silence. Thank you. Contestant number 6, please turn on your video and your microphone. Can you hear me and can you see the timer?
I can hear you and I can see the timer.
Contestant number 6, Jackie Tweedie, lost and found. Jackie Tweedie, sorry, lost and found Jackie Tweedie.
When I was young, I used to lose everything. My poor mum would despair. She'd tease me and say, Jax, you'd lose your head if it wasn't screwed on. But you know, losing belongings as a child is nothing compared to true loss. And that's what hit me 6 years ago when I lost my precious mum. but she didn't die. My mum has dementia. Everyone says that dementia is all about loss. But I have a dear friend who told me that inside every loss, there is something of value to be found. And I've made it my life's journey to go into my mother's dementia to find out for myself what has been lost and what can be found for me, for her, and for you. I've lost time I could have been spending with my husband and my kids. I've lost income because my mum's care has required me to sometimes be a full-time worker. And I've lost my mum. She was my rock, always on my side. She helped me when I sometimes couldn't even ask for it. But what have I found? Oh my goodness. I found that I can now be my own rock because I've discovered a resilience inside of me that feels so much stronger. And I've got really good at things. I've discovered that I can do finances, that I can organize and navigate through the medical system, that I can get creative and resourceful and give my mum a quality of life, something to match what she has always given me. You know, she used to be able to do such a lot of things and now she's bedbound. But that limitation isn't going to stop me. The ideas keep flowing. We bring the spa day we used to love to go to her home. We put the fluffy dressing gowns on, we paint our nails, we do our hair. We have such a lovely time together. And the best thing of all is that she experiences that connection again. And I get to feel it too. Last week, she took me by the hand. She looked me in the eyes and she said, if you were my daughter, I'd be really proud of you. That was such a gift. And what has my mum lost? Some people would say she'd lost everything. Her memory, her independence, her mobility. But I invite you to have a closer look. What has she actually lost? Nothing. Well, how could that be? Because if you can't remember what you had, you have no awareness of what you've lost. If you don't have a past, because you have no memory, you don't have the sadness or the remorse or the regret or even the trauma. And if you can't see into any kind of future, there's no worry. There's no awareness of anxiety. So what my mum has instead is joy. Because she can't see behind her, in front of her, around her, in time and space, she only has now. And that now is a permanent state of awareness. People meditate for years to achieve that. My mum lives in that space. She also has an amazingly rich imagination. She tells me she's been swimming with dolphins. She climbs up mountains. She tumbles around everywhere she goes. She tells me she's been organizing a theatre trip and she's made all the costumes for the children. I love the fact that she's in that world and I go and join her there, and it inspires me to use my imagination in my own life. Because the beautiful thing about having that stillness in your own experience is that everything else falls away. When I think about my mum and her experience of dementia, I remember one thing that really warms my heart. She's got Mr. Fox, and here he is. Mr. Fox is my mum's constant companion. She has adventures with him. She tells me all about them. He sometimes tries to pinch her breakfast, she tells me. He even went to hospital with her when she was poorly with COVID, and they put her in an isolation ward. None of us could visit her, but Mr. Fox was there. The nurses even said, every patient in this hospital needs a Mr. Fox. And this is my mum. I don't need my mum to know who I am, to know that she loves me. I can feel that. And I don't need her to not have dementia in order to love her, because she can feel my love. And dementia has no power over love. So I invite you to go inside and look for a loss that you've experienced. Grieve and accept it. Notice what you're feeling. That's an important part of the process. But then take a look inside and see what gift might be waiting for you there. But don't look with your eyes, because your eyes will only see the grief and the loss that you've always seen. Look with your heart. Experience that wisdom, because that is what will guide you to find what's waiting for you there, that will help you find what you need. I promise you it's there. You only have to look. Lost and found. Madam Toastmaster.
Contestant number 6, please. Sorry, contestant number 5, please turn off your video and mute your microphone. Timer, please allow 1 minute of silence. Jeez. Thank you. To contestant number 7, please turn on your video and your microphone. Can you hear me and can you see the timer?
Yes, I can hear you. I can see the timer.
Thank you. Contestant number 7, Alexey Morov, Other People's Wars. Other People's Wars, Alexey Morov.
Stop it. Stop it, he said, because you don't want to know. But how could I stop? My fellow Toastmasters, when you see an exciting, fascinating mystery right there in front of you, do you stop? Of course you don't, and I didn't. But let me tell this story from its very beginning. It was in the 90s, when I was just a schoolboy, and with my friend Max, we were playing real-life role-playing games. You know these games. When you don the self-made armor, you take your sword and you fight bravely against imaginary monsters in the woods. We played every weekend and we were always heroes, defeating monsters, saving the world, taking the treasures. We were happy because we were so heroic. But those were the 90s. And so my friend Max got recruited into the army and sent to Chechnya. That was no longer an imaginary war. It was very, very real. He came back 6 months later, wounded, but I met him as a hero. He was my game, my dream come true. I came to him, Max, hi, you came from the war. Tell me about the war. I want to know about your brave deeds. Stop it, he said, because you don't want to know. For you, it is just other people's war. And you don't want to know. You only want to spectate. But how could I stop? My fellow Toastmasters, when there is an exciting, fascinating treasure right in front of you, do you stop? And I didn't. I insisted, Max, you're my hero. Tell me about the war. And so he started telling. And once he started, he really could not stop. He told me about young boys, 20-year-old, just like him and me, who were sent there into the night without even knowing where the enemy were. He told me about 2 young guys who wanted to flee from the war, and they fled into the night only to end up in a minefield. He told me of his friend who went mad at the war and just dropped a grenade underneath himself. I was shocked. I stood there thinking, and then I asked, but Max, why? Why are you silent about this? This is horrible, and everybody needs to know about these horrors. Tell the world. He just smiled sadly. He said, the people, they don't want to know, just like you. They only want to spectate. For them, it's just other people's war. Unfortunately, this lesson from my childhood is very, very vital again. As you know, 3 months ago, Russia started war against Ukraine, an unfair, aggressive war. I understand that for most of you, my fellow Toastmasters, this war is just headlines. But for us, who came from Russia, who came from Ukraine, this is a real tragedy happening. We have friends and relatives, often on both sides. And we call home, we ask our close people, how are you? Not to hear something like, yeah, we're great, everything's fine. We just want to know that they are alive. For you, it is different. You don't want to know about what is really happening there, about people being massacred, about people who can't have their voices, who can't say no to war because they might get imprisoned or even executed. But I want to tell you one thing. It is not the war somewhere out there, not the war of Russia and Ukraine. It's the story of a madman with a nuclear button who sits there ready to press it at any moment. We can be discussing gas prices or donut quality, but think about it. Everything can end tomorrow. And I mean everything. Let it sink. It is no longer other people's war. It is now the war for everybody that we can fight without weapons. People like me and my family, people from Russia and Ukraine, need your emotional support. They need to know that they are not ostracized in the society, not stigmatized for the country where they lived or were born. They need to know that they are an integral part of the society that wants peace. It is not other people's war. It is your war now, everybody's war, and you can join it for peace, not with guns, not with missiles, but with words of tolerance and wisdom. And I wish all of you join this war for peace. Thank you, fellow Toastmasters.
Contestant number 7, please turn off your video and mute your microphone. Timer, please allow 1 minute of silence. Thank you. Contestant number 8, please turn on your video and microphone. Can you hear me and can you see the timer?
I can hear you and I can see the timer.
Contestant 8, Justin Paras, voices. Justin Paras.
Almondigas. For those of you who cook or just love to eat, there may be a dish that is sentimental. For me, it's my mom's almondigas, a delicious Filipino meatball soup. This was my favorite dish as a kid, and my mom showed me how to make it. First, she showed me how to make the tasty broth, and then the meatballs by taking ground turkey, salt and pepper, a few raw eggs, and mixing it all together with my hands. I remember thinking, Mom's letting me play with my food. And as I did, she would look at me and she would say, "Makan yan," which translates to, "You're doing it the right way." With those words, my mom's voice showed kindness, encouragement, and love. Many years later, something happened, which made me cherish that moment even more. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, have you had a day that changed your life forever? July 15th, 2012 was that day for my family. I was at home with my parents who were in the garage having a typical conversation when I heard my dad say to my mom, "Why are you talking that way? What's happening to your face?" I rushed to the garage. My mom was sweating. She was slurring her words and her face was drooping. My dad turned to me, "Call 911. That was the day my mom suffered a massive stroke. A stroke that left her in a coma for 3 days and paralyzed one side of her body. When she woke up, she could not walk, swallow food, or speak. Can you imagine losing your voice? For 22 years, my mom worked for the post office, using her strong yet gentle voice to help customers. Outside of work, she had a passion for cooking. She would share her delicious recipes with those looking to replicate them, even though nobody ever could. She would use her voice to care for my brother, my sister, and me, to teach us, and occasionally to scold us, even as adults. And now her voice was gone. For those of you who have ever lost your ability to speak for even a few moments, might understand how frustrating, uncomfortable, and disempowering that can be. The months following my mom's stroke were the toughest of my life. I believe the stroke was caused by stress and fatigue. I felt guilt and regret over what I could have done to help my mom more, to relieve her stress. The doctor told us, your mom may need a feeding tube or live in a care facility for the rest of her life. I went to a very, very dark place. But it was during those days that the voices of others brought comfort, just like a warm bowl of mom's almondigas. My cousin Alma said, Justin, this is your opportunity to give back and care for your mom. My Uncle Chris said, Justin, you will find peace when you live in the moment. Even the hospital janitor, he told my dad, everything's gonna be okay. Keep praying. These people became our angels, using their voices to dispel the darkness, casting light and hope. My mom's doctors and care team became our angels too, using their voices to inspire my mom, to educate and train us on her condition and how to care for her. Eventually, she started to swallow food again, and she started to say a few words, but she still could not walk on her own nor speak coherently. She needed us to be her voice. This situation opened my eyes in profound ways. The more I used my voice, not just to help my mom, but within the community, the more fulfilled and grateful I felt. Mom eventually came home, where she is today. While she is still disabled and dependent on us, she's found her own way to communicate through short phrases, gestures, and a treasure of facial expressions. The same ones she's been using on me since I was a kid. Her favorite form of therapy, being around her 5 granddaughters who could teach a master class in using your voice because they never stop talking. That day that changed my life helped me to see our voices are so precious and capable of so much. We can bring comfort, inspire, educate, and serve others through our words. Somebody out there needs to hear your voice. While my mom continues to strive to live her best life with faith, resilience, and perseverance, I have the privilege of being by her side. Where it's my turn to say, Makanyan, Mom, you're doing it right. Madam Toastmaster.
Contestant number 8, please turn off your video and mute your microphone. Timer, please allow 1 minute of silence. Where did you see it? Thank you, Madam Timer. Contestant number 9, please turn on your video and microphone. Can you hear me and can you see the timer?
Yes.
Contestant number 9, Bruce Mason, Telemarketers and Table Topics. Telemarketers and Table Topics, Bruce Mason.
Fellow Toastmasters, I used to hate telemarketing phone calls. I used to think that they were so annoying and a waste of time. Tonight, I want to tell you how we can utilize telemarketers as a positive learning experience. In particular, table topics, where we need to be able to think clearly and quickly. We need to be assertive and always in control. And the way I'm going to do that is I will illustrate how I handled the Microsoft security scam that was going on about a year ago. So I get the phone call. Hello? Mr. Mason, this is Microsoft Security calling. We've been monitoring your internet use, and we see there's an intruder getting onto your computer. Once I heard that, I knew it was a scam. So what I decided to do was act very emotional, very naive, but maintain control. Huh? An intruder? What? On my computer? Is he there now? What's he doing on there? You got to tell me, what is he doing on there? Well, Mr. Mason, the intruder is seeking your social security numbers, credit card numbers, and other information so they can assume your identity and cause you financial ruin. Financial ruin? Oh, no. Oh, why me? Why me? Oh, who's doing this to me? You got to tell me, who is doing this to me? Well, Mr. Mason, we've determined it's an Ivan Stoyanovich, a notorious hacker that could cause you much harm. Now, he tried to scare me with some foreign sounding name. So what I decided to do was throw him a curveball. Ivan Stoyanovich, he used to work here, that crumb. He was a lousy worker. Nobody liked him and he finally got fired. And now you're telling me he's messing with my computer? Arrest him. Arrest him right now. There was a long pause after I said that. Well, Mr. Mason, we don't know, we know his name, but not his whereabouts. If we knew where he was, we could arrest him. What do you mean you can't find him? Just last night, I was watching a rerun of Law and Order. They were dealing with hackers. They caught him right away and threw him in jail. So what's the matter with you guys? You guys should be able to catch him, throw him in jail. He must think I was crazy, mixing up a television show with reality. So there was another long pause. Well, Mr. Mason, these things take time, but I can help you get him off your computer right now. You can do that? That's music to my ears. Get him off there. Take him off. Get rid of him. I don't want him on there. Get him off there right now. Well, Mr. Mason, are you sitting at your computer? What I think it is they want to trick you into downloading ransomware, and then they'll hold you hostage till you pay them money. So I continue to play along. Well, yes, yeah, I'm sitting at my computer, but I just turned it off because I have a meeting soon with my boss. I'll turn it on right now. Wait a moment. I hate being on hold, and I know that scammer does too. So I set down the phone for 2 minutes. Let him be on hold. I know he's not going anywhere because he thinks he's got a fish on the line. So after 2 minutes, okay, I'm at my computer. It's all booted up now. You've got to tell me exactly what I have to do. Well, Mr. Mason, you'll have to go to our special Microsoft security website, download some software, and we'll be able to purge Stoyanovich off your computer right now. It's that simple. Oh, that's great. Hey, wait a minute. Here at work, we're told that we're not supposed to put outside software on our computers. Did you talk with our security manager? Did you talk with Linda Patten about this? What did Linda say? There was another long pause. Well, that's right, Mr. Mason. We spoke with Linda and she instructed us to give you a call to get the intruder off. That's great. You had me worried there for a second. Okay, you got to tell me exactly what I have to start typing in. Oh, wait a minute. My boss is signaling me. I've got to go to that meeting. Give me your name and phone number, and I'll call you back after I get out of the meeting. Now they're using some pirate phone lines. There's no way you can call them. Well, no, Mr. Mason. I'll be more than happy to call you back in 1 hour. No. You might not call me back. Give me your name and phone number. I want to call you back to take care of this guy today. Today, you got that? So we went back and forth several times until finally he gives up. Mr. Mason, my name is John Smith. The phone number is 800-123-4567. Got it, John. Now I want you to stay right by the phone. Wait for my call. I don't want you to go anywhere, and we'll take care of it as soon as I get out of the meeting. You got that? You got that right? Okay, okay, Mr. Mason. Then I hang up. So I hope you can see some of the things you can do. In table topics, we have to listen to what they say, respond to it, but you try to twist it, stay in control of the discussion, and proceed like that. This is a great learning experience, especially for table topics. So I encourage you, don't look at telemarketers as a negative thing. Look at them as a positive learning experience. Because I know if you try this, you will like it. Fellow Toastmasters.
Contestant number 9, please turn off your video and your microphone. We will now have whatever time it takes for the judges to complete their ballots. Tech host, will you announce when the ballot, I will let you know when to send the chief judge and the ballot counters to breakout rooms as soon as I can confirm that he can confirm that the ballots are complete.
Yes, thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Madam Toastmaster,
Yes, Chief Judge.
it looks like all ballots in. Will you please open the breakout room?
Tech host, would you please send the ballot counters and the Chief Judge to the breakout room?
The room is open. They can go now.
David, is everyone out?
Yeah, let me double check they are in the room. Yeah. Oh, okay. One more waiting to go there. So wait.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Tech host. Now we will have the fun part of the contest, which is interviewing the contestants and finding out their deepest to darkest secrets. So contestants, please turn on your video and your microphones. Okay, we'll start with the easy questions. How long, let's start with Michelle. I'm going to do you from 1 to 9, I think. And so you'll know when you're coming up. Donica, first question. How long have you been in Toastmasters and what club are you representing today?
I've been in Toastmasters 6 years and I'm representing Toasttronic at Medtronic.
Okay, and your current profession is?
Clinical project coordinator.
Fun, how fun. Hello. Contestant number 2.
I'm here, Patty Wong.
Hi, Patty. Quick question. So how long have you been in Toastmasters and what clubs do you belong to?
I started in 2020 and I belong to President Community Toastmasters Club. I work as a security compliance analyst.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Ron, how long in Toastmasters, what clubs, and what's the job that you're doing these days?
Well, let's see. I'm Vice President of Education for the Alameda Tongue Twisters. I've been with the Tongue Twisters since October of 2014.
And your current job?
I am a biofeedback, neurofeedback therapist. I help people learn how to manage stress like they've been under for the last 2 years.
Aha, very good. Thank you. Ray.
I could save you all the time in the world. Toast to Petaluma, 10 years, Chief Charisma Officer at Leadership Through Laughter, and my favorite food is macaroni and cheese.
Okay. And where do you get to eat that macaroni and cheese that you work?
I don't work. I just said that as an extra thing since I saved time and tried to fill extra time.
Okay, thank you. Number 5 is Michelle. How long, what clubs, and what do you do when you're not speaking?
Is there anything else but speaking? I've been in Toastmasters since 2017 at Heart to Heart Toastmasters, but more recently at Leaders Worldwide, and that's who I'm representing, Leaders Worldwide. And I have been and am a life transformation coach, enabling people to navigate the challenges of change.
Thank you. And Jackie.
I have been in Toastmasters 2 years this August. I belong to the Diablo Champagne Breakfast Club, and I work as a holistic coach and a yoga teacher.
Very good, thank you. Alexey. your turn.
Hello. In October, it will be 2 years as I joined Danville Toastmasters that I proudly represent. And while not doing public speaking, I do some speaking in the classroom, being a training manager for Community Tech Network.
All right, thank you. Justin?
Yeah, hi, I've been a Toastmaster now for 13 years. I'm a proud member of Citizens for Better Communicators based in Fremont, otherwise known as CBC Toastmasters. I work as an account executive at Akamai. We help to make the internet faster, more reliable, and more secure.
Great, thank you. And Bruce.
Thank you. I'm not showing up on the big screen. Okay, I've been in Toastmasters for many years, and I work as a telemarketer.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
All right, we're going to go backwards now. We'll start with Bruce. What's the one thing that Speechcraft and the speeches that you give in your clubs has taught you, and what's the one thing that they've taught you, and what's the one thing that you still need to learn?
Yeah, you know, I think the main thing I've learned in Toastmasters is we learn by doing. So you just got to get up there. A lot of times you won't prepare the speech. Well, I can't give that speech this week. I found that you're better off giving a speech that you're not prepared for is much better than not giving any speech at all. So always remember that. Get out there and do it. Now, the one thing I'd really like to work on, and it's a real challenge for me, is I like humor. I think any speech can be improved with humor, but it's a very challenging and scary topic to explore.
Okay, thank you. Justin.
Same question.
Same question.
What have I learned in Toastmasters? What I've learned is that there's no silver bullet for how to develop a good speech, because our audience is made up of individuals, very unique individuals who come from different backgrounds, different experiences. So to think there's a silver bullet for how to deliver a speech is basically not true. What it comes down to is finding those truths within yourself and those experiences within yourself that resonate with you, where you've learned things, and just being willing to open yourself up and be vulnerable and just share those experiences with everybody. And along those lines, one thing I want to get better at is actually being better at sharing emotional stories. I broke down at the end of that speech, and I received 2 bits of advice I just want to share quickly from Cara Wasden, a great speech coach, and James Jeffley, the previous champion. Cara said, don't be afraid to go there, to those tough experiences, which I was afraid to go to. And then James Jeffley said, you got to get to the cliff, but don't go over, meaning you got to find a way to be emotional, but not break down. And luckily, I broke down at the very end, thank God. But I'm very blessed and thankful for Toastmasters, such a great club with great people, including all of you. So those are my 2 takeaways.
Thank you. Alexey.
Hello again. Speaking of what Toastmasters taught me was meeting and greeting people, because my family moved from Russia to the United States in early 2020. My kids went to school for 3 days before everything got locked down. And then we spent a year and a half imprisoned in our apartment, working from home, studying from home, and never seeing anybody. So actually, for a year and a half, Toastmasters were my only window into the world, my only opportunity to meet someone other than my nearest family. And I'm forever grateful for that. And speaking about something I still need to learn, I would say it's humor, but Bruce already said that. So I would say it's creativity and being able to come up with something new all of a sudden. And that is definitely something very valuable for everybody.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Jackie, how about you?
I think the thing I've really learned when I've been in Toastmasters so far is not what you say, but what you don't say. So creating spaces and gaps around the words that you're speaking to enable other people to not only relate to what you're speaking, but to see inside themselves what they're feeling. And I have always spoken really quickly. I have a really dear friend who is a speech therapist, and she timed me once and she said, you've got the fastest rate per minute of any of my clients. So I have to work quite hard to slow myself down. But Toastmasters has taught me to do that. And I enjoy creating that space now that helps me and hopefully helps the people who listen to me. In terms of what I would like to develop moving forwards is the opportunity to pick any topic and to refine a speech, to craft a speech, and then to keep refining and keep refining. Because I think I used to think that it all had to be done in one go. But I've learned some more patience now, where I can just keep working and just notice that it evolves and it has a life of its own. So having the faith to continue that process is something I want to explore.
Thank you. Michelle.
I have learned a whole lot in Toastmasters. I've certainly learned all about the vocal variety. I have learned about the pauses, and I could use more learning in there. And humor is an area that I am still working on. So I'd say pauses and humor. Oh, and the other thing it taught me, vulnerability. Because before that, I was a great performer, but I didn't really show up as who I really am. And what do I still need to work on? Probably all three of those.
Okay, all right. Number 4. Sorry, Ray.
So Toastmasters taught me to ask questions. So could you repeat the question so I can answer it correctly?
Okay, first was, what has Toastmasters taught you? What are the things that you take away from the meetings? And then what's the one thing that you're still working on?
One thing I'm still working on, the game of life. You know, that's a whole, what the heck are you going to do with that? But the thing it taught me is that your presence is really, the Aussie audience is present in your presentation, if you want to have a fortune cookie moment right there. And we all have our opportunity to speak, but people don't want to hear a perfect speech. And there's never been a world championship speech that was perfect, but they want to know what you think about things. So like Justin said about being vulnerable and all these things, if you can make somebody laugh and make them cry, that's the ticket to get to the next round. But if you worry about what it is you're saying and how people think you're going to look, then nobody cares about what you're saying. So
you took the tofu from there, no? Bye.
Kamala, come on in. Talk more. And it also has dealt you, the one thing I'd like to do better is dealing with weird interruptions when I speak. So that's the one thing that I think Toastmasters, I need to work more on.
Okay, thank you, Ron. Ron, please.
Well, let's see. Before Toastmasters, I had been doing a lot of speaking, so that was no big deal. But what Toastmasters taught me is that anybody can ramble on for 10 minutes or an hour or 2 hours, but can you deliver a succinct, coherent speech in 5 to 7 minutes? Also, your role tonight takes a lot of courage, because we all have Toastmastered maybe a club meeting, but we've never done it before. And I remember saying it my first time, I've never done it before. And then I was reminded that I should use the Joe Walsh method. The Joe Walsh method is when you have to fire your manager, what are you going to do? You make everybody believe that you know what you're doing, and they'll just follow right along behind you, and you'll still make it.
Okay.
What I need to work on, I want to work on more humorous speaking. Several of us do. And you know the way we're going to be able to do that? The district needs to bring back the humorous speech contest that they took away from us several years ago. So I'm saying it tonight. Bring back our humorous speech contest so we have a goal to shoot for.
Okay, so terrific. Patty.
Hi. For me, I learned the most from table topics that really actually help me out, especially when I am at work, need to have opinion, what I think, and then I need to present it in a quick, not prepared way. And I found that most beneficial for myself. What I learned, what I want to do more is, because I like to be in the motivational speaker, more like in the motivational speaker path. And I like to practice more that I can really touch people's heart and have a positive impact in their life.
Okay, thanks, Patty. And last but not least, Donica.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. One of the things that I've learned from Toastmasters is that it's okay to be authentic and vulnerable. That many other people have said that, but to be able to share who you really are, that I love unicorns and love Hello Kitty and love glitter, anything, and that I can be accepted for who I am. That's something that Toastmasters has really brought to me, that I feel so much love. It's so great. And what I'm looking to really strive to learn more about is storytelling.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to throw a little bit of a curve. We're going to get out of the Toastmasters realm, and we're all hopefully considering doing some stuff live rather than virtual. I want to break out of Toastmasters, and I want to know, where's the first place that you're going to take a vacation when the in-person ban is totally lifted?
Disneyland.
Okay.
A
Patty?
sailboat in the Aeolian Yacht Harbor.
Okay, Patty?
I want to go to Japan. I've been checking out, making sure if they open the border, I'm going to buy the ticket right away.
All right. We got 3, 4. Ray.
I want to go to a cheese factory and just eat. I want to go to a buffet and stuff myself so I can touch every piece of food that's there and just enjoy it and push it down my mouth until it starts coming back up the other side. And then I'll be joyous and have somebody else drive me home. I don't care if it's far away or close.
All right. Michelle.
Yeah, I want to go back to the East Coast to see my family. I haven't seen them in 3 years now. And I know that I have some nieces and nephews that are growing up. Well, I guess grandnieces and nephews that are growing up that I haven't even seen one of them. So I'm really looking forward to seeing my family again.
Okay, Jackie?
I want to go to San Francisco and meet all my fellow Toastmasters.
All right. Alexey.
I would like to go back to Russia, and I hope to see everybody well in the life.
Okay. Justin?
Linda, what was the question? Sorry.
When we can freely travel anywhere we want, where is the first place you want to go?
Oh, easy question. So in addition to almondigas, my favorite type of cuisine is Japanese food. I've never been to Japan. So Japan is on the top of my bucket list, and I hope to go there sometime soon.
All right. And Bruce?
What I would like is to see more of California. We live in a wonderful place. You don't have to go far to see magnificent things. Just go up to Yosemite. I've been up to Yosemite already this year, and every time I go up there, it's like drop dead beautiful. And I plan to go up there some more. So I encourage all of you, let's keep the money in California and enjoy our state.
Okay. David, how are we doing?
I think they are on the way coming back.
Okay.
If they know how to come back.
Sorry. So should I ask another question? Do we have enough time for another question?
Yeah, please go ahead. I'm putting those things together. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Okay. All right.
One minute.
Your favorite sport? What sport do you if it's a professional sport, that you follow? Is it something that you actually do or you really wish you could do? Let's start with Justin. You're muted.
Yeah, pre-pandemic, my favorite sport was soccer, which I played for a long time. But when the pandemic started, soccer got canceled. So I really got into tennis, which I'm addicted to now. I watch tennis YouTube tutorials over breakfast. So anybody out there, if you want to hit, I play with anybody because I'm really not that good. Let me know.
Okay. Well, it looks like you have a tennis partner. Alexey raised his hand and said he'll go. Okay.
Oh, yeah, Alexey.
Okay. Alexey, what would you like? What sport would you like? Or are you enamored with?
Sitting in the house for so much time, I got into cyber sports. So I play League of Legends and Defense of the Ancients now. Yeah, but actually bit by bit, I'm learning about basketball, and I know that the Warriors are having their game right now. So go Warriors!
Okay, great. Okay. Let's see, who's next? Bruce.
Oh, okay. You know, the sport I used to play a lot. I'm originally from back east. I play ice hockey. As a matter of fact, I played some out here, and I know you'll find it's hard to believe, but I was in the over 40 league.
Okay. All right. Patty.
I am a swimmer. I swim every day. Every day, I mean.
Okay. All right. Ray?
I also really enjoy basketball to the extent that it's like, do I do the contest or do I watch the Warrior game? And I kept checking in, and they were down by like 14.
Plug your ears, plug your
But
ears.
I just wanted to show you, there's the score right now, if you can see it.
Okay.
Actually, it's good. Some people are recording it, so I won't show it. All right.
Okay. Donica.
Mountain trail running. The steeper, the better.
All right, great. Michelle?
I used to be a long distance runner, but that was a long time ago. So now I'm a medium distance walker. I walk twice a day, but that's not really a sport. So I guess the real sport would be maybe competing in an international speech competition.
That is, okay. Ron?
I am a radio amateur, and almost every weekend we engage in what is called radio sport. We compete against each other around the world. I've written blogs comparing radio sport to speech contests and Toastmasters. They're very similar. That's my sport.
Okay, and Jackie?
I teach yoga, so I do yoga, but I've recently joined a gym and I'm really enjoying a class there called Body Balance because it combines yoga with Pilates and Tai Chi, and it's done to gentle music. And I love that because I normally do my yoga in silence. So it's expanding my awareness and I'm really enjoying it.
Okay, fantastic. I'm now going to ask you to turn off your videos and put yourself on mute. Okay, thank you, David.
Yeah, I think we are ready. So the result is ready. Linda.
Okay, so just to say how wonderful and amazing all of you were and still are, and the fact that you are all winners. Look at how many contests you've gone through and really spoke your truth and were able to share that with so many people. Hans Thoma, the chief judge, and the team of tech hosts, ballot counters, timers, and judges, thank you so very much for all the work that you put into this. And every one of you in attendance, thank you for being here this evening. I'd now like to announce the winners of the International Speech Contest who will compete at the regionals for Toastmasters International World Championship of Public Speaking. So before I announce the winners, District 57 directors, do you have any announcements or comments that you'd like to make?
Mark will announce.
Anyone? Yes, Mark.
Carolyn, I know we have a big day tomorrow with the conference. Did you want to say anything about the conference tomorrow, Carolyn?
Yes, thank you so much for this opportunity. We're looking forward to so many of us being fully present in our conference on tomorrow. We'll start at 8 a.m. with our annual business meeting. So I'm looking forward to seeing as many presidents and vice presidents and area directors and division directors fully present in that meeting. And when the conference starts, our guest speaker, our keynote speaker is Sarah Khan. I'm telling you, this is an amazing speaker. One thing I want you to keep in your mind is at lunchtime, we will have our lunch learn, and fun. We have a speaker there, Matt Dix, author, a comedian, a humorous speaker, a father. You will enjoy his presentation. And we have 6 beautiful, beautiful educational sessions that are available for you to participate in. I'm looking forward to all of them. And guess what? We will be recording some of them because we can't make all of them at the same time. We haven't learned how to split ourselves up. But anyhow, after that's done, we will have our awards ceremony, which should start about 2:10. And when that is completed, we will come back for the evaluation contest. And we're looking forward to the pre-briefing getting started about 3:30 and the contest itself beginning about 4. So that's it in a nutshell. I want to thank everyone that has contributed a thought, time, and effort to what has occurred. I am so proud of all of the contestants tonight. Thank you again. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Carolyn. I have to say that the day tomorrow, it looks so exciting. I'm really looking forward to it. So, but without further ado, let's hear the results. I'm sorry, Mark gets to, Mark, I'm just so excited. Please, Mark, would you announce the results?
I would be happy to. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. You've done an excellent job. So thank you for that this evening. Without further ado, the moment you've all been waiting for. In 3rd place, taking home the bronze tonight, Alexey Morov.
Everyone can see my slide, right?
Yeah, except it's Alexey Morov, not Moroccan, but we'll get that fixed. In fact, the winners will be getting these actual trophies once they're engraved with your name. So thank you, Alexey, taking home the bronze. In 2nd place, taking home the silver tonight, Engan. Engan taking home the silver tonight. And in 1st place, Tweedie taking home the gold. Thank you for an excellent contest. You've all done amazing. You're all champions representing your given division champions, each and every one of you. Thank you all for attending. This meeting is adjourned.
So tomorrow is not going to be this link, right? Check the Hoover or look at your email.
Thank you.
No pictures of the winners?
Wait.
The pictures were on the slide.
Yeah, I took the screenshot in the contest, so that should be okay.
Thank you everybody.
Did we have a screenshot of everyone?
So only 94 people now. So let's get them back here.
Everybody turn on their cameras.
Yeah, stop them from going out. Yeah. Okay, let's see. And 85 people, 84. Maybe do it tomorrow.
Yeah, they're leaving rapidly.
Just get what you can.
Just get what you can.
Yeah.
Let's all do it. Let's all capture it there. I can't, my video won't turn on, David. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, everybody just stay in meeting for a second. And we are going to take a screenshot together. So still 74 people. You are lucky ones. We have 74 people left, and we have 74 people remain here. Excellent.
I think we got up to 160. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Most excellent.
Oh, okay, great. So everybody look at your camera, look into your camera and say cheese.
Cheese.
Okay, too late. Yeah. I think we are.
Ed, you're messing with us.
We're down here. Yeah, I think we're done. We got everyone.
All right.
See you
Thank you,
all
everyone.
tomorrow.
Have a good
Congratulations, everyone.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
And be sure that when you sign up for the International Toastmasters International Conference, it will occur in August. And that's where we'll see the next level of the contest. We won't see the regional quarterfinals, but we'll see the finalists at that conference. So it's really, really exciting. So I hope to see you there.
Hey, Kate, just one question. So when you paste the name Moroccan, so his name Moroccan.
That was, it auto-corrected. That's why I sent the text to change it to Morov.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Well, you can tell I like Moroccan food. Can't you guys? It autopilot is that name. I surely apologize for that. I didn't catch it till after it was.
Oh, no, I got you. You said autopilot. Okay.
Autopilot, yes. It just fills in those words and I have to turn that off somehow when I figure it
Yeah,
out.
let me share the link, the slide deck with Mark and also Kate.
Mhm.
So Linda, great job, Linda. Excellent
Thank
job.
you.
Yeah.
There were moments my tongue got ahead of my what I was seeing. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, time for dinner.
Time for
Hey,
bed.
Greg, you
Time
want to
for bed
pass?
for somebody,
David, do you want to pass host to somebody if you need to leave? I could take
Yeah.
this. Pass host.
Yeah, I'm gonna assign you as a host, and you.
Okay, sign me as host and I'll hang out if anybody wants to talk or chat or get excited about something and.
David,
Look at that. Look at Greg. He's still hanging in here, international director, and he's every year he's signing up for something.
David, thank you for a wonderful job as the tech host. That's some magic you have.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And it's only 11:35 for me. It's time to go to
Your
bed.
size 11. Okay, so
Oh my
Linda, you are not in the East Coast anymore?
I'm sorry.
Or West Coast?
Where
You're
are
in the
you?
East Coast?
I'm in Ohio.
Ohio. Oh my
Beautiful.
gosh, I didn't know
Ohio.
that. Have
Yeah.
you always been in Ohio?
No, we moved in September.
I was gonna say, I saw the change in your business on your email, but I didn't realize you physically moved it. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
What
we
date
did.
in September?
Yeah.
Technically, we were here September 3rd,